Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, yo, yo.
That
We are back. We are back. We are back. I am Tech P. He is Cam Era, and this is the podcast Stable.
The algorithm exporting what is important. Tech P a portion in accordance, but it's all anointed. We welcome you to come get a portion.
No more everyday Bron versus Jordan.
Jesus said the victory comes from the Lord, but we still prepare the horses. It's the podcast stable. We got more horsepower than Ralph Lauren. They go live and talk reckless, no reporting. I go live and talk facts, but they won't report me. But that will stop the context, the complex. I
want to report
for the record, so I will press record.
you know, for a long time they wanted to
We
report.
live now.
They wanted to report me. I told them, you know, I like Josh Allen. I do. People don't think that I don't like Josh Allen because I say what I see still. And I was rooting for him off screen, off camera. I picked him to win.
Pick who? Where did you jump in at? I think you got. Hey, let us know where you at. What you on?
I'm just talking about the Bills, man. This is the biggest disappointment that we could think about in a while. And, you know, Josh Allen fits the part, so it won't be as harsh as it would be if he did not fit the part. But listen, you were the most, decorated quarterback. I mean, I guess Matt has a Super Bowl, but you have an MVP. People basically say that you were the best player in the NFL for an entire year, which I don't think in my record book, you don't have an MVP. That was Lamar Jackson's, but I get it. I'm not hating on it because you did perform very well that year, but that came back to bite you in the butt because now you're not protecting the ball. 4 turnovers by yourself.
Got a man fired.
By 3.
Got a man fired, they would say.
Got his coach fired. His coach said he was standing up for Buffalo, and the next day he was terminated.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you what, billionaires will do you in. I think we're watching it right now. The profile of the NFL owner, that's not a profile of a person that has a very high level of integrity. And so, they say one thing and do another. So I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked with that. I think to your point, Josh, he let us down. This was his time to step up and show, that fight and that difference maker that he really is. And we'll see next year. We'll see next year.
Nah, I'm done seeing. I'm done looking for it. It's just he just got to make it happen. This year I was hoping for it. I literally was rooting for him because I did not want to have to watch Bo Nix potentially in the Super Bowl. I didn't want to see that. Now Bo Nix is hurt. I like the backup. I like Stiddy. I like how he's performing, and we're gonna get to that game here shortly. But if we were talking about Super Bowl, we wanted to see Josh Allen. And now, I don't know if that's ever a feasible thought ever again. It would have to take a lot of convincing for me, but we'll see.
Aaron Rodgers is how old? 41. So, basing on the Aaron Rodgers scale, Josh ought to have another? How old is he? Maybe 30.
Yeah, but he's a little bit more physical than Aaron Rodgers.
They'll just still let him play though. They'll if Aaron Rodgers can keep playing and Brett Favre played and just certain types of quarterbacks, what was the guy that they just called from the couch in Indiana?
Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers.
He's actually interviewing for the Bills job.
Yeah, he's interviewing for head coaching job. They just pulled him off the couch and said, "Hey, look, no matter if nobody else is a better quarterback to help us win right now, we want to take this guy right here." And so it's almost like when I look at this, I'm like, man, I remember when they used to try to make us believe that this was like a meritocracy, or it was about the best people being given the opportunity. I no longer believe that at all. I think it's the people who make them feel the most comfortable, that's willing to go out and do the job. And so,
What's the what does DEI stand for?
diversity, equity, inclusion.
So yeah, they definitely using the I still.
The I.
Yeah, they're including what they want to include. It's not.
Well, they always use that I. I mean, they always are inclusive of those who they choose. That DEI was intended, if I understood it correctly. I'm not in HR, and let me just say that I believe that the outcome of DEI and what is of corporate America today rests very, very, very squarely on those of you that are in HR. And so maybe that's another show, another topic. We do have some Responsible Tomorrow shows and things like that. We have some solutions to address those types of things. But to your point, the inclusion is about including others that are not like you. That's what the inclusion. That's what the I was intended to be. And so, right now, what we're learning here in current day is that these words can be redefined, and that you can even use a word that has a definition, but if you want to apply it with another definition, you can do that. You can do it right here on social media. Nobody will really push back on it, and so it's just a funny way of living at the time. But again, to your point, I just want to point out that inclusion is about embracing differences. That's what it was intended to be in that term, but it didn't work out that way. DEI is dead. DEI is dead. There's no DEI.
Lives on in a new feature.
Say it again.
The I lives forever in the other context, but
that I has always lived. that I has always lived. I was watching something earlier, and it was talking about the history of the country, and it was, I don't know how factual this was, but the point that it was making was that there was love and embracing of different culture to come in and welcome people into this land. Go back and listen to the song, "This land is your land, this land is my land." If you listen to it with a thought of what's going on today across the globe, you'll hear it a different way. And if you research the history of it, it was actually created to be a challenge to the current times and really what was going on in the country. And so I that's kind of what this reminds me of. It could be projected out to be something else, but when you take a step back and look at it and search it for the fruits, it's not very fruitful. Not very fruitful. Not in a humane way. I would say, of course, there's always an argument for supremacy. They make sure that there's they make sure that there's always an argument for that.
Where
we heading, bro?
Let's just stick with the team that beat the Bills. They're in a halftime game right now at halftime. Watching it 7-7. I kind of missed the result of the Patriots scoring. I saw that Stidham was moving a lot backwards, and then it looked like he tossed the ball, and then they said, I don't know, did the Patriots recover at that point, or I just know they had really good field position, and then next thing you know, they finally scored to tie it up. Now we got a 7-7 ball game. I don't like how the Patriots offense looks at all. And, this is really an indictment on C.J. Stroud. Because if he just takes care of the ball last week, it's highly likely they win that game because the Patriots offense has not looked good. Not in this game, not in the last game. I can't tell you who they played. Who did they play before Houston? They played the Chargers. They have not looked good at all this whole postseason. And they had the weakest strength of schedule this season. Really, I think when you look at the history of a first seed, they have the weakest record of all time. And that's because last season they had a 3-14 record. And so they make the strength of schedule kind of, comparative to where you finished. And so these guys have really had an easy road to where they are, and I don't trust it. And I don't want to see it in the Super Bowl. I don't want to see. I think they get smoked by either of those teams coming out of the NFC.
Hey, I've been hearing that a lot, but I'll tell you one thing, man. Every time I hear, and this is kind of off topic, but it's reminiscent of some times yesteryear. And one, because I don't care about either one of these teams, and really I'm over in a lot of ways. Just the distraction right now. There's things going on, and this is some could argue a distraction. But I also see that there's a need for people to have a getaway, to be able to get their minds onto different things. But I was going somewhere with that, but I forgot. I'm thinking about all kinds of stuff, man. What I would say about this Bills Patriots team is they've been given every opportunity to make this young quarterback out to be the next Tom Brady. And it's they got a cakewalk. Denver doesn't. What team goes into the championship game against an opposing team that quarterback went down, and now the opposing starter hasn't taken a snap all season?
It's the first time ever.
There you go. There you go. First time ever. And so Drake May, if he loses this game to Denver, I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want to hear anything else.
And I've liked Drake May previously in other seasons. I just don't think their offense has looked good, at least in the postseason so far. And look, you can skate your way to the game, but I don't want to see a blowout in the big game. So,
well, it's not a blowout. It's not a blowout. I mean,
no. This is not. This is the game before the game. I'm talking about the game. I don't want to see a blowout in the game, man. The way that the Seahawks is playing, the way that the Rams.
Man, who cares, man? Who cares? We're gonna get together. People gonna get together. They're gonna watch the commercials, and we're gonna get on. We'll do some podcasting and hang out some or whatever. It's now at a point where it's just an event. I think we've seen enough to question the integrity of it, to know that it's just an event. And so it's a time to get together with real people, not be trapped online with fake profiles and algorithms, bots, and be able to judge some overpriced commercials. Who wants to spend that kind of money to run an ad? And where did they get that kind of money from? Because we sure don't have it. We sure don't have it for a bag of chips or whatever it's going to be. It's always that kind of stuff. So we'll watch some of it. We'll make sure we make some nachos and some wings. If it's in February, I may be able to have a beer. I'm doing dry January, no sugar, no alcohol.
Should be in Feb. We got next week will probably be Pro Bowl, so it should be the first week of February.
Yeah, Pro Bowl, what a joke!
We're not even gonna talk about that.
What a joke!
We're not even gonna talk about that. What we will talk about is another award that could be handed out. We got one candidate. Oh, I did want to touch on this real quick. They have the Offensive Player of the Year award set up. And they have a list of players, and they have one quarterback in there. They have Drake May in there. And I'm wondering, how do you have a quarterback one quarterback in the Offensive Player of the Year award, and then you got the MVP is basically all quarterbacks? You're basically telling me that this quarterback is going to lose the MVP award, but we want to give him something to commend him when he is not the best offensive player in that division. I mean, like, I won't be silenced. They can't silence me. I don't like it. Those other
Yeah.
players, skill position players, they deserve at least, like, this was their award, offensive player of the year. Why are we giving it to quarterbacks? Quarterback is obviously an MVP award. Like, this is why I'm here to create context, because the same reason why people look and say, "No, Josh Allen's MVP, he's one of the best of all time." Look, he has an MVP in your book, my book. He is a 0-time MVP winner, and
Yeah,
he still has to go.
but that's not. But if they could take the person who thinks like you and then silence you because you won't just agree. They value those who would just comply and agree. And so that's the reason why, like what you said, is when it comes to that offensive player of the year and them having one quarterback, and the way you read that, I think that's the way that I would read it as well. That's what they're king making. They're king making. They're making it a way for him to have a narrative to go from the offensive player of the year to for them to make him a MVP at some point in the near future, if he will continue to go along with the king making. And so they're going to require him to not speak about certain things. You know, for example, we'll touch on this a moment ago. I saw someone on social media last night calling for the Minnesota Timberwolves, their players, to not play in order to cause some different outcomes around what's going on in Minnesota. And I don't foresee that happening. But if it did, their stance was that disrupting that money or that system would create change, which I think that's possible. We just, for some reason, we can't come together to be able to do things like that, you know. And we have a programming that has taken place for years on end that get people to the point to where they don't look to care about the next man. They look to figure out what I can get from them, or how I can make some money from them, or how I can, you know, manipulate them, or whatever the case is. But when it comes to the part about caring for the next man, that doesn't seem like something people are open to doing. And that's been my experience as well. I mean, the reason why I built integration in the podcast and all those things was so that we could actually start to tell who was who. For so long, people are able to pretend like they are supporters or allies or whatever the case is, and it just wasn't my experience. And so I figured that there had to be more people out there that had a heart, because if not, then that means that we were living in a very, very, very dark world, which I think we are. But there's still more people out there that care. And so how do you get those people in the support they need? Well, because I felt like it's challenging. It is challenging for me to get the support. Well, I just built another place, an alternative to what we're dealing with right now, where, you know, you can log on there today and you see a man get mistreated and people are just commenting on it. Nobody's like, hey, what can we do? What are we going to do? How are we going to stand up? How are we going to speak up? We need a place where people will use it to know that they're one first talking to a real person. You know, you're in there, Camara. Is this the AI version of you, or is that? No, is this real?
This is real.
This is real. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I think that's a fair question. That's a fair question. So, you know, the games and all the stuff, you know, that's all well and good. But at a certain point, we have to start asking ourselves, you know, how can we take this mental break and engage in this game, but then go and put ourselves in the direction of actually doing something productive and supporting one another. So if that lands with you, then join integration. What else we got? Join integration. Let me say it again.
Join integration. Yeah, we got that. Other NFC or championship game, I should say, happening today. We got the other MVP leading candidate, Matt Stafford, heading back into Seattle for a third matchup this season. They split it 1-1, and now their final showdown in Seattle in the what do they call it? The
The
12
rubber match.
Yeah, they got the grudge match with the 12 man, and you know what are we going to see today? I mean, I've seen Seattle's defense; they look really good. They look really good, and we know what Matt Stafford can do. We know what Cooper Kupp can do. We know what Devontae Adams can do, and I think right now that's going to be a great matchup, great game. I don't know if you saw any of the other ones, but I think the first one they played in the LA. Actually, I won't say where they played them at, but I know that the first game that they played, that's when Sam Darnold threw the 4 interceptions and they lost. And I said, I can't trust him.
I remember that. That was early.
And then the last one, I think that the Rams had some problems on special teams that kind of ended up making them lose that game. It was a closer game. Sam Darnold didn't have the 4 turnovers, but that first game still lingers with me because honestly, that's who I truly think when the pressure's the highest that Sam Darnold is probably going to turn into. And I would probably pick the Rams in this game to come out, and I think it probably will be close because they're division rivals, but don't be surprised if it's at least like 10 points, like maybe double digits, because Sam is going to turn the ball over in my estimation.
I really don't know who would win this game. I think it's going to be a really good game. I think for the sake of not picking the same team as you, I need to pick the Seahawks. But again, to the same point that you're making, Sam Darnold's had a lot of chances. Sam Darnold's had a lot of chances.
Now, what I will say is, if Sam Darnold goes and wins this game, the Minnesota Vikings are going to be really, really looking at that GM in a very scrutinized way.
No, they're not. No, they're not. That's one thing. That's one thing about those roles is they get to make all the bad decisions until the day is over. And is that GM still there?
Yeah,
the same one. So the same general manager that selected him. Well, I guess they signed him from the Jets.
Well, they signed him from, I think the last team he was on was the Niners. So he had already been to Carolina, the Niners, and then he went to the Vikings.
Hold on. So let's count the teams. He was drafted by the Jets.
Correct.
He went from the Jets to Carolina.
I believe so. That was the order.
Then he went from Carolina to
the Niners.
And then he went from the Niners to Seattle.
Yeah.
That's 4 teams?
No, he went from the Niners to the Vikings.
We haven't said the Vikings yet?
Huh?
So let's start over. The Jets, Carolina. From Carolina to the Vikings.
No, Niners.
To the Niners. From the Niners to the Vikings. From the Vikings to the Seahawks. That's 5 teams. How many years has he been in the league?
Sam Darnold, man.
He couldn't have been in no longer than 8 years, 9 years.
Yeah, he's got to be around 2017, 2018 draft. I think 2018 maybe. But,
yeah, I said it a moment ago. Sam Darnold's had a lot of chances. He's 28 years old, and he's been on 5 teams. Yeah, he's 28 years old and been on 5 teams.
But
yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen that before at a quarterback position, starting quarterback.
You said what?
So I don't know if I've ever seen a starting quarterback so young have 5 different teams.
I mean, Baker might be at 4. Yeah, I think Baker might be at 4. The other ones are all backups. But yeah, they were in the same draft. But I do think if they make it to the Super Bowl, especially that GM in Minnesota, he's black, so he and I think also Justin Jefferson would look at it too in a certain way. He'll probably be mad, like we have a quarterback that, or we had a quarterback that's in the Super Bowl. Now we have a quarterback that hasn't been healthy the whole time he's been here, and really wasn't that healthy in college. He had 1 year where he was healthy. I, you know, I don't have. I need a quarterback. You know, this is dependent the position. So I think for his sake, he is probably rooting against the Seahawks today. But like I said, that defense over there is really, really good. I wouldn't be surprised if they won, especially if Sam is able to take care of the ball and not, let any pressure get to him. Not the pressure of the defense, but just the pressure internally. The pressure from the defense going to get to him for sure.
Well, we're going to be watching because we snowed in and ain't nothing else going on. So we'll check it out. What else we got on the agenda to chat up before we jump?
Yeah, we got some coaching hires happening around the NFL, but the biggest move, Mike Tomlin steps down from the Steelers. Adios, amigo. It seems like he does not want to coach anymore, or at least for this current moment, which, bravo to him on a great career. I mean, did a lot. Now he is being replaced by the one and only Mike McCarthy.
Coach Mike. Coach, we brought Coach Mike in here to steady everything, and then all of a sudden you love Coach Mike, and then Coach Mike is gone. Now, Coach Mike, I mean, you talking about coaching some franchises.
Yeah, that's what I was about to go to. Yeah, go ahead.
Green Bay, Dallas, and now Pittsburgh.
Wow. And I mean, at least like from the outside looking in, I'm thinking he's probably saying like, y'all got to give me some time, because at least in those other situations, I came in and I had a great quarterback. So we'll see.
He's gonna get 5 years. He's gonna get 5 years. I mean, yeah, he's gonna get 5 years. If you look at what's the going rate, I mean, I saw where Harbaugh, which Harbaugh has 1 Super Bowl, right? And so does Mike McCarthy. He's got 1, right?
He's got 1.
Yeah. So I mean, what are they paying Mark? I don't think I've seen the financial numbers, but they're going to be around $20 million a year.
Not with Mike. No way.
Yeah.
$20 million for Mike. No way.
Man, watch. This is the market.
Hey, shout out to Alfie Obama, Steelers fan, man. Just a few weeks ago, he was very happy after the kicker for the Ravens shanked it. And now, 3 weeks later,
how did Alfie become a Steelers fan?
You have to ask Alfie, man. He's a Steelers fan. His car, he got a card that says LSU on it. I mean, he's everywhere. But he's from LSU. So he's, Speaking
of LSU, I mean, we might want to send him some recent articles and see if he likes what direction Lane Kiffin is heading in.
Well, what's the articles talking about?
Lane Kiffin got a deal where he's just landed a star recruit, and he's got a purple and gold hat that says make Baton Rouge great, or something like that. It's a play on the Make America Great Again trend. That's how I interpret it. I have a company and we make merch, and I wouldn't dare touch anything that would be in that same lane. Just understanding that it could be interpreted a certain way, and Lane, he self-inflicted, one would think, but with much pride, that's what he said. Make Baton Rouge great. That's what he's doing, and that's what I see. That's what I saw. Lane Kiffin, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is another guy that, I mean, if you think about it from a character and integrity standpoint, Lane Kiffin has been unceremoniously departing multiple places and been given multiple shots. So, you know, you were talking about that inclusion thing a moment ago. You know, when you have that inclusion for certain groups, they're able to overlook some things. They're able to overlook some things. But Lane's gonna have to win in Baton Rouge. He says he's making Baton Rouge great. LSU fans, drop it in the comments. Tell me what you think about the hat and the move. Is Lane representing you? You know, are you willing to look past, you know, any of those subtle things that he may be alluding to or the propaganda he may be fanning with these types of gestures? Parents, would you send your child to go play for Lane?
Yeah,
I want to know.
Speaking of college football, what do we think about the finale between Indiana and Miami? You know, you had a 6-year quarterback in Carson Beck versus Mendoza, who tried to formally walk onto Miami and did not, you know, they didn't allow him to.
His father played at Miami, I believe, or something like that, right? His mom was a tennis player at Miami.
He's from Miami, so at least probably born in Florida. So, yeah, and then you got Signetti. I think somebody said something about Signetti being on Coach Saban's tree, and then somebody else pulled up a picture of Signetti being the head coach back in the day, and Saban coming from his tree actually, or maybe it was from his father's tree or something like that. So very interesting. I like Coach, but I will say there is an interesting conversation going on in college sports with NIL and recruiting players, especially in college football. The thing is they're recruiting proven commodities. They're no longer going to the high school, you know, maybe the 5-star ones, but they're going after the guys that already have been through the program, know what to expect, know what they're going to get from them versus, you know, maybe a 4-star or 3-star high school kid. And they're going with the older talent to win now. They're going with the older talent to win now. And Indiana was like that. They're probably going to reload, do that again. And then in basketball, you got them pulling out, you know, they're going to sign people that was in the G League who still got some eligibility or going overseas, and they're trying to win right now. Is this going to ruin the American athletes? Like, you know,
this is what I gotta say. Some people got to have it. Some people really need it. Hey, listen, money. Hey, this situation, if you look at, let's go back. I'm gonna just say 20 years ago. There was no gambling in sports. There was no paying athletes. There was no transferring. And I would even say because of the internet and social media and people being able now to be able to trace things back digitally. If you remember or recall, some of you may recall that there was a case where the FBI went out and arrested Chuck Persons and a bunch of college basketball coaches in a pay-for-play scandal. And Adidas was in on this, was where the money was coming from. And then Sonny Vicario, they started talking about the role that he played in high school hoops, and Patino was in on this. And, you know, that basically threatened to give the power. It was almost like it felt like a shakedown at the time. And so fast forward, what's happened as a result of that is transferring is now allowed. Paying players is now allowed, which they have been doing since the beginning of time. They gave Eric Dickerson, or SMU, for paying Eric Dickerson the death penalty. This was call it mid 80s, something like that, early 80s. And so this is not anything new. Now it's allowed, all because the profit margins on college sports or sports in general to media companies and advertising dollars is great. And so this is not college athletics is no longer amateurism. Well, in fact, I don't even know what amateurism is anymore. What is it? I mean, when you can go from the NBA G League, but have been in the G League without being a professional, to now being able to go down and play for a Catholic or what is Baylor? Baylor is some type of religious institution, private school.
Yeah.
And so now you can go down there and play on their team. They got another one, G Leaguer that just went to Alabama, I believe. And I'm all for it. I mean, hey, guys, go get your education. But more importantly, go make your money, because that's what it's all about. Education. I mean, I'm looking at Amazon lay out 30,000. And at the same time, they're saying that they're hiring and not requiring college degrees anymore, which thank you for letting us know. Thank you for letting us know. I mean, I remember a time when we were growing up, it was like, hey, if you don't have a college degree, then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Is that not the case anymore? Are we saying to people that, hey, look, you shouldn't go to college? I'm not really sure college is the answer anymore, unless there is a bag. Unless there is a bag. And these guys are saying, hey, forget going to go play overseas or going to go play in a different professional league. No, we could just go back to college. You know who should go back to college?
Who?
What was that ball brother that didn't make it?
LiAngelo.
LiAngelo should go to college. There's a bag there for him. He's almost 30 now, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. Like you said, they are taking whoever is a body that can be serviceable, that can draw attention, that can help them get these advertising dollars. Go for it. So LiAngelo Ball, put your name in the portal. Get into the portal.
Yes, I feel like, from it's different perspectives to look at it. This is kind of, some things they have good and bad sides to them. So, for me, I don't have really much control over it. So I'll see how it plays out and see what the results are. But yeah, I think for now, the development of the American athlete, especially in basketball, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for another American superstar to really, emerge.
So what about Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, he's him, but that's like it. Like Ja Morant is flaming out right now, and he could come back for sure. But
I think it is about those who are willing to carry the storylines and be who they want you to be. I mean, Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant puts up the guns, right? And, does that kind of stuff. Anthony Edwards just goes out, and I think I saw something where KD was saying he had 4 baby mamas or something at one time.
Yeah, that's KD's comment is not real. That's somebody, just putting the Photoshop together. But he might have 4 baby mamas. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, he still has the commercials. I saw him say some things into the stands in LA last year that if I heard it today, I'd be like, man, that's gotta be AI, because who could stand on the stands and say that out loud that way? And he did. And so I mean, so when you say it's the death of the American athlete, I'm not really sure. I think
but what I'm talking about is the superstar. Like, yeah, you got Ant Edwards, he's a superstar, but how many more American athletes? All the other American athletes that are superstars are the old guys. Stephen Curry, Kawhi Leonard, KD, like LeBron. It's gonna be time for them to go here soon.
I think that comes down to. I was just thinking about this last night. The generation before these guys played anywhere from really 9 to 14 years. You know, to play anything more than that was not necessarily normal. Now we have with this NBA, KD, I saw something. He's averaging 26 points, playing so many games, and they were saying how he was having such a great year. Well, I mean, before the All-Star break, and KD is an amazing talent, but before the All-Star break, they have turned this into a different league than what it used to be.
Yeah, for sure.
And so those American stars are playing so long that the generation that came after them, who I hate to put it this way, but somewhat idolized them, now comes in and now falls into line rather than going to say, "No, I'm here to take your lunch."
Well, I think that's on them because Anthony Edwards will tell you he's here to take their lunch. But I mean, even before then, you had guys like Kobe and KG and other players who played long periods of times. But these guys that I just named, they came in and they were basically saying what you said. You know, it's over for you. You're done. You know, gracefully, not disrespectfully. None of them said it disrespectfully, but you know, like, hey, it's my time, and that's what I'm fearing. I think the development of those players, especially, I mean, it already was like hindered because of the one and done in college, but then you add on top of the NIL and going to find anyone with availability.
They'll tell you that going into the league, you have to be willing to go in and accept your role. You got to be able to go in and be selfless. And so if you go in and you don't accept the role that they give you, then you don't have a place in the league. And so that's the reason why I'm looking at it. And I'm like, there's a part of me that feels like the superstars are manufactured.
You know, I will say I agree in that point. Like the guy out of Atlanta, I think his name Jalen Johnson. Like, once Trey got hurt, he really started to show like what he could do to the point where they were like, okay, we're ready to get rid of Trey because we're not sure that we want to pay him this, you know, max money like that because he's been here for so long. And so, yeah, a lot of it is an opportunity and what they tell you, like when you're coming in and those guys. But at the same time, like some of these teams can be had, like the Brooklyn Nets, the Charlotte Hornets, like those teams can be had. Like you could go there and you could become that guy.
Yeah, but the thing about it is the narrative isn't wrote for that guy. You know, so it's almost like
you better create one like Donovan Mitchell did in Utah.
Well, Donovan Mitchell got out of there too.
I know, but nobody thought he was going to be that.
Yeah, no. If you go to certain places like Utah, Phoenix, New Orleans, if you go to those smaller market teams, and you have certain attributes to be an exciting player that can actually, you know, kind of be the person that they market, they'll market you. They have to market somebody. In every market, they have to have somebody to market in every market. Like last night, I was looking, and shout out D Rose. I know that's one of your favorite. He got his jersey retired last night. And so I was looking at this, and I saw a highlight or a video of Michael Jordan congratulating him, saying, you know, I'm going to look forward to seeing your jersey up there with mine. And I'm like, man, what a smack in the face. Like, I'm going to be there, you know, as now you're joining, you know, those of us in Chicago. He's like, nah, you know, I'll send you a video. But yeah, they got to find somebody to market. I mean, if you look at it, did Derrick Rose have a career to have the number retired?
If you are in Chicago or was a fan of that team, it's not a question.
I
It's
agree with
not
you,
a
but
question.
we're talking about we're talking about on a national NBA level. Did he have? That's like the Mavericks coming back saying, "Hey, look, we're gonna do
I will
Rolando
say, from my perspective, I'm not saying from anybody else's perspective, and this is fact. He's the second best Chicago Bulls player of all time. He just is.
He's the second best player of all time.
He's the second best player of all time.
And how many years did he play with the Bulls?
D Rose was probably drafted in 2009 or 8. I want to say 8. He was drafted 2008. Probably stopped playing with the Bulls around 15, 16. So 7
8 years, and you're putting him. So you're putting him above Scotty.
easily.
No,
Not close.
and I like D Rose. I like D Rose. I
He
love.
got farther than Scotty did, and Scotty was in his same position.
How so?
When Jordan left the Bulls and Scotty was there, they got to the semifinals. D Rose got to the conference finals, and he won an MVP.
Okay, so
I mean,
I need to go back and look at that because I think Scotty got them to the Eastern Conference Finals the year that Michael.
No, they almost did, and then they had that game. I can't remember exactly against who. Maybe it was Cleveland, where Scotty refused to go into the game because they drew up the last shot for Tony Kukoc. And
that wasn't the Eastern Conference Finals.
No, that was the semifinals.
Okay.
So, yeah.
No, I think it could go either way. I don't know too much more about Chicago Bulls players.
Well, even if you think that him and Scotty can go either way, that would mean at the lowest he's 3. There's no, I mean, and if you're in the top 3 of their players, if they want to retire your jersey, you're the youngest MVP ever, and you had a heartbreaking injury, that they could probably think about retiring Penny's jersey if he got an MVP. You know what I'm saying? Or even without it, because he was impactful. But
yeah, so Scottie Pippen's jersey's already retired too.
Yeah, so
yeah, that's another franchise right now. I think they could as far as a player to market, who are they marketing? Who's the A player in Chicago right now?
Who's the I don't know. Who's there on their team?
We don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know who's on their team. After Lonzo left, I haven't really been watching them that much. Shout out to Chicago. Shout out AJ Dawson, all the Chicago people.
I got a lot of homies from Chicago.
When y'all get another Derrick Rose,
Hey man, hey,
I'll
listen.
be back.
Nah, I won't be back. I'll be back.
If there's another Derrick Rose,
I won't be
back. That was primetime television right there.
Well, the league was different then.
Yeah, the league. Yeah, that's true. Okay. I'm gonna say that I was lying because I don't really watch basketball like that. But if there was a Derrick Rose type of player, Derrick Rose would dominate today. With only one big man in the paint and it's spaced out, he got shooters around him. Man, oh man. But hey, I don't see a Derrick Rose in the league right now. John Morant can be something like him, but we got to get everything.
He can't stay healthy.
Yeah, well, hey, Derrick Rose. But anyway,
well, I mean, Derrick Rose had some injuries later on, but during that run,
that first run, he was good. Yeah. Shout out to Bulls, man. That was such a good team. Luol Deng, Taj Gibson, Kirk Heinrich, Joe King, my boy Ronnie Brewer, baby.
Ronnie Brewer out of Arkansas. Didn't Ronnie Brewer go to Arkansas?
Yeah, Ronnie Brewer, baby. Yeah.
Hey, so did you get a chance before we jump? Did you get a chance to see the Don?
The who?
The Don.
Who's the Don?
Led Better Luca last night.
Oh man, yeah, I actually saw. I won't comment on what I actually saw because I saw something. I haven't confirmed if it's true yet, but yeah, they won in Dallas last night. No Kyrie, no AD. Yeah,
No Kyrie, no AD. They had Cooper Flag.
yeah, they had Cooper.
What Cooper Flag have last night?
He's had 16.
16. How many shots?
Huh? They gave
How many
they
shots
gave
did
Luka a
Cooper
lot
make?
of free throws last night. I didn't watch the game, so I can't say if he deserved them or not. But you know,
No, I watched some of the
I
game
watched the
last
game
night.
before. If we want to talk about that one,
What,
and
San
the
Antonio?
claw. I try to tell you about the claw. He's back. He's back. Everybody was trying to rag on the Clippers. They started off 6-21. Ew, PU. They stunk. They waived Chris Paul. Everybody's like, oh, how could they do this to Chris Paul? He's a legend. And they've had the best record in the NBA since December 13th with the Claw shooting 40, 50, 94% from the free throw line. He has more steals than fouls per game. He has more steals than turnovers per game. He's back to being the best two-way player in the league.
The claw's back.
And he's dominating. And he had Luka. They said that Luka Doncic shot. Normally they say that the player is shooting tour dates. Like he shoots 9 for 25. Oh, that's a tour date. That's or November 25th or whatever. Or what's the September 25th? Mm-hmm. He shot 11 for 27. They said he shot Thanksgiving. He was hungry. He was hungry.
Oh,
yeah, man.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched the game last night, man, and I had to turn it off because it was such a horrible game. I mean, the defensive effort was terrible. And it was almost like either they knew they had it in the bag. I mean, the Lakers were up like 14, 16, and the next thing you know, Lakers were down. And I was like, you know what? This is, they're not taking this seriously. And so I thought that the Mavs had won the game until this morning when I looked at it and saw the fake AI news. Basically, they were saying that after Luka and the Lakers pulled out the victory, that Luka stopped in his tracks to go comfort Cooper on. I'm like, man, this social media and this fake stuff is just getting out of hand. Yeah. So what I saw last night was Luka Doncic, the Don, returning, given a great ovation here by the great fans of Dallas, who traveled out in the snow to be able to spend that time with Luka. They only give 2 times a year now, and so they risked their lives, put their lives on the line to go see Luka, who is now 4-0 versus the Dallas Mavericks since the trade. 4-0, and so what the Mavericks have to show for it is what's this guy Rich Paul is now saying that there is no truth to him saying that there was a demand for a trade. Just a bunch of dysfunction and what I would say, nobody saw this coming, and so we'd have to say that this is a disaster of an outcome when you have Ledbetter Luka out here still performing well. And I saw the tape before the game of AD with his hand wrapped, and he was doing a little whatever and shooting jumpers with one hand. The guys played 30 games in a year, and Ledbetter Luka is there leading the league in scoring. And the fans of Dallas are coming out in the middle of a snowstorm and representing. And so I don't think they had any Fire Nico chance last night, but they should.
No.
Continue with the Fire Nico. Let's pick back up on the Fire Nico chance, guys.
We have to stop the Fire Nico.
No. Let's turn it up.
You got what you wanted. It's time to focus on his play. You're 4-0 against the Dallas Mavericks. What else is?
But it's not about Luka. Luka's Luka's somewhere else. He's got
Hey,
other
look,
deals.
any of the fans who wish for a championship in Dallas, you have nothing to worry about. You're on the right track.
Oh yeah, you have everything to
You,
worry
you
about
have
because you had a front office that didn't get the return they should have gotten on the Luka Doncic. In addition to that, that same front office traded away all of your draft assets, and so now they're in a position where they have to tank this year, or they're not gonna. Well, it's not an or. They don't have any first round picks for quite a while after this year. And so, yeah, you could you. I don't agree with that statement you just made.
okay. Well, let me amend it. You don't have to worry about losing Luka Doncic because he's going to continue to show that without assistance from outside forces, he
wasn't going to be able to get any anyway. I mean, they let go of Jalen Bronson. They let go of Jalen Bronson. They let go. Who else did they let go of? Grimes went on to have a pretty good run.
Kristaps didn't want to play with him anymore.
Yeah. So
he went to the winning team.
You know what I think the Mavs ought to do? They should at least fire Jason Kidd.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I think they should. Are you a Mavs fan now?
I got an affinity for him, man. I really do. After they got rid of Luka, I can't go back to the Lakers until they decide that they've seen what the Mavericks saw.
Well, hold on. You wasn't with the Lakers before that, though, because you said you left the Lakers when LeBron got there.
No. I've never said that. Actually, I said I left the Lakers when LeBron traded all of my young talent that I have watched.
Well, that was when he got there.
I went through all of the fire of watching these terrible teams that they love to bring about today. I watched all those teams. I watched us get those draft picks. I watched Julius Randle basically break his ankle in the first game of the season. We had to tank again that year. I watched us get Lonzo Ball and Kyle Kuzma, I call him. Watched them play.
They had a whole bunch of draft picks, didn't he?
And then I watched LeBron get to the team, and we still were losing, and people want to call him the savior now. No, he was not the savior. He mortgages your franchise. But guess what? On a mortgage, there's an interest rate. His APR is super high. And guess what it's looking like right now? It's looking like there's a
$10 billion to Jeannie Buss in a
problem in LA. And I try to tell y'all. Now, I was like, hey, once he's gone, I'll be back for the rebuild. And then they went and got
better.
So I'm gone until they figure out that this guy is the problem too. But forever in my heart, Lakers, we went through a
stretch. So that means that you could just pick up. So you should be a Mavs fan then.
Yeah, I like what the Mavs got going on for sure. Yeah. I like what the Mavs got going on. I'll be watching once Kyrie comes back for sure because that's one of my favorite players ever. So
yeah, no, I definitely want to see Kyrie do well. Definitely want to see Kyrie do well, but he can't do it by himself. And bittersweet to see Luka go, but considering that he wasn't going to get any help,
Kyrie.
Yeah, I mean, there's Kyrie and Cooper Flag. Now. Who?
Yeah, PJ, Kyrie.
No, you have to have some draft. You have to have some draft capital to be able to do some things.
You have to play defense, and you know what? I have it bookmarked. I have it bookmarked. All of the defensive possessions of him versus the Celtics series. So whenever we want to watch those clips, you have to be willing to play defense and play ethical basketball. For the most part, I don't think that SGA plays ethical basketball, but he does play willing to play defense. I will give him that.
You know what sealed the victory last night in the AAC? You know what sealed the victory? Mm-hmm. Better Luka took a charge. Defense. So this whole narrative
that is James Harden-esque. Like,
yeah. Hey, listen, this whole narrative if he doesn't play defense, there's a lot of people in the NBA that don't play defense, man.
How many of them is champions?
A lot of them.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, a lot of them.
You'd have to come next podcast. He's gonna have to come to me with a list or some examples.
What you want to know? Examples of players that won without playing defense?
Yep, currently in the NBA.
Defense is a team culture thing.
Okay.
There's not a one.
Who sets the tone?
I'll go back. I'll go back in the Mavs. I believe 2 seasons ago were either the number one defensive rated team or with Luka. Yeah.
Not over the Celtics.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me look it up, or I'll bring it up the next time. But the Mavs have been defensive rated high with Luka on the team.
Maybe during the regular season, like you said, the first half of the All-Star break is just whatever. So I don't do regular season stuff no more at all.
Why not?
You just said it. The first half of the season is just whatever. It's whatever. We're skating through. We're just trying to get to the playoffs. Okay, a little bit after. Okay, maybe we'll see what kind of seeding that we can't get. We'll play a little bit for that. But once we're locked in, we're just waiting for the playoffs. So yeah, what was the defensive rating in the playoffs?
Yeah, I had to look it up. I could be wrong.
And really, they are very, very fortunate that Minnesota was able to pull it out against the Denver Nuggets because they had no real answer for the Joker.
Well, I mean, it is about matchups.
It is about matchups.
Yeah, and the Mavs beat.
I wish it was the Joker versus the Celtics. That would have been a great finals matchup. But I was happy to see Kyrie try to get another chance. But
yeah, let's wrap up, man. Is there anything else we need to get on?
Let me see real quick. Let me just make sure. We can say John Harbaugh for next time. He ain't going nowhere.
Word. Well, we got 5 minutes left in this game right here. We got
shout out to Coop. Hey, shout out to Coop. Whatever happens in this game, man. Shout out to my boy Co-op. No requests.
Here we go. This is for the game right here to tie it up. We got a field goal attempt by the Denver Broncos to tie it up. This is the podcast stable. I am Jeff McKinney, Tech P. He is Cam Era. We're just getting on, letting out some steam, and he janked it. No good. No good.
Oh my God.
No good. Hey, listen, man. Hey, this is what we're here for. I made this point earlier. Before I jump, I'll say this: good, clean, authentic conversation, fun, connection. The algorithm is not built to do that. And so for us, what we do is we create and we still push it out to the algorithms, but we also invite those of you that are out there in the algorithm to join us in the social media oneintegration community. You can find out more about that at www.oneintegration.com. You can also visit our nonprofit at thepeoplesplug.org to find out how you could actually take on and get more connected from a what's the right way to say it? Responsible civics and engagement and opportunities to serve. And then also what I should say, and I have to say, is that we're looking for interns in media operations, graphic designers. We're looking for interns by way of marketing automation. So even if you don't know, but you have interest in learning these types of things, then join us. What we are here to do is to unify those who want to be a part of contributing to a better tomorrow. And so this is the podcast stable where we come and we talk sports. He's Cam Era. As you can see, he is the opposite of me. He wants to antagonize anything that I have to say from a sports perspective. And most times he's right about it because I'm not even really paying attention to it no more. I'm just here because he'll jump on and I can hear his music when we start up. And I think that the perspectives that we share together bring for me a certain type of peace that is healthy. And so thanks for tuning in. Cam, you got any last words?
I won't say I'm mostly right about everything. The Pick'em record didn't show that.
What does that show? What does the Pick'em record show?
Yeah, last time I checked, you were definitely ahead. I don't know what the exact amount was, but I will say there are still some things that I'm right about, and stay tuned for those.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, for those of you out there, you can also catch us on the O2G TV YouTube channel. But if you want to catch us without an algorithm, you can connect with us in social media. So that is our community that we envisioned to overcome the challenges that social media places in front of us. And so, um, as long as we're dependent on the algorithm, then we are at a significant disadvantage. And so we can fix that, and we plan to fix that. We plan to overcome that, and the foundation and the infrastructure is already in place. And so just imagine a place where we tell the stories that led to the pain that was needed to envision a different way, a different solution. And so that's what we're getting started doing. And so tomorrow morning, in this algorithm, we will also air our next episode of Resposal Tomorrow, featuring Lynn and Christina. And later on tonight, you'll see me back for an episode of Tech P What's the What to talk about what we're doing broadly at Once Integration and with the People's Plug. Again, thanks for joining, and we'll see you soon. Peace.